Hello, I'm here talking to PVAC Boys Varsity Basketball MVP Junior Bryan Knapp. Knapp led the Lions to an undefeated regular season and their first championship game under current JDS coach Dave McLeod. I'm going to talk to Bryan about his MVP award and his entire basketball career up until his point at JDS and into the future. Okay. So, why do you love basketball?
I love basketball because it's fun, first of all. It's a team sport, and you can't lose. Or, not you can't lose, you can't tie, rather, excuse me. And that's one of the reasons I used to play soccer, and that's one of the reasons I stopped playing soccer, is because there are draws, and I'm very competitive, and I don't like draws. So if you go into a game, you know you're going to win, you know you're going to lose, and I love that aspect.
So when did you start playing basketball?
I started playing basketball when I was maybe like 9 or 10, and it was my cousin. I would go over to their house a lot and we would play.
And what was the first team that you were on?
First team, it was an AAU team, so it actually wasn't school affiliated, and it's like with a bunch of kids from around the area, and yeah, we played on it together.
And how did that team influence your career as a basketball player?
Yes, absolutely. I had some coaches that saw that I had some talent and some potential, and they told me to stick with it, and I'm still on the team today. 6 or 7 years later, and so yeah, it's been very.
All right. Yeah, and going back to JDS basketball, what would you say has been your role in the team up to this point?
Role in the team. So this year, my role started. I became more of a captain this year. In prior years, I wasn't much of a leader. This year, there was a little bit more on me in that regard. But my role has just been, I score the basketball, but at the same time get other players involved, because I can attack, draw defenders, and then, find the open man. So.
And I understand you did this quite well this year, winning your first PVAC
Thank you.
MVP award.
Thank you.
What does winning that award mean to you as a player and as a person?
The award means a lot. I would say I don't want to say I find solace in the reward, but I find some sort of comfort, like knowing that we got somewhere this season, because we lost the championship, which can be, which is very tough. But having, received this award, I feel a little more comfortable with where we are as a team, and that, and I know it's an award, just to one person, but I feel like, it's been, I can attribute it to my teammates as well, and so. Yeah, and so I feel like we're in a good place, and that reward, shows that.
All right. And now looking into the future, do you expect to still be playing basketball after high school?
I hope to. I'm definitely gonna. I'm gonna look at places that I can play. I'm gonna look at places I'll get in without. If I choose not to play basketball, but I really love the game. And it's something I really want to stick with. Until my knees give out in 40 years or whatever.
Yeah. And all right. And how much do you think next JDS basketball season means to you as your final season?
It means a lot. I think that. I think that. It's not going to be easy, and I know that. But at the same time, I know that we're capable of winning. So it means a lot to me to win, and especially, the championship. Presumably, if we make it. It's the day before we leave for Israel, so I know that there's going to be all sorts of emotions coming at me from different angles, and but I know that we need to stay focused, and I know that we can win, so it means a lot.
And do you think that there's going to be extra pressure on you guys, given the fantastic season you had this year, and on you personally, given the fact that you just are coming off the MVP award?
Absolutely. If you beat a team twice, beat every other team twice, go 20-0 and then losing the championship, there's absolute pressure to come back next year. And do well, and I can say even more than there is on Sandy Spring in that matter, because now they're expected to win.
And how do you plan on dealing with all this pressure?
Dealing with this pressure, I think, obviously turn to my teammates. I think that next year we're going to have a bunch of new kids, but we're not going to have as many new kids.
Yeah,
so I think that it's I don't want to call them veterans because they've only been on varsity for 1 year, but a lot of the current juniors who are going to be seniors next season, have been in tight game situations and know what it's like, and so I think that we can all kind of resort, to one another, and
plenty of leadership and chemistry.
Yeah,
and are you worried at all after coming off such a fantastic first 3 seasons on varsity that teams are going to be putting an X on your back and are going to be game planning for you?
Am I worried? Yes, but do I know how we can play around it?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I would say yes to both of them. I think that, as we saw in the championship, they tried double teaming me at the top, and we didn't have Daniel, who's, a very important shooter, and play on our team who I could pass it to, and I know it's automatic three, but, I know that if they converge on me, I know that my teammates are there. And so I think that's really important, and that's why they need to step up next year. Everyone needs to play well.
And then finally, this is my last question. What would you say the expectations are for you and for the team going into next season?
I would say the expectation. I would say two things, and one kind of plays off the other. The first is to stay focused, because that's something that we had. It was very difficult for us this year. In practice, we would have to do a few more suicides because we weren't focused, or and that would turn over to games, into lazy passes, etc. And I think that, if we can be focused, then we should be able to win the championship. And so that's a definite goal of mine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is sports editor Bennett Bramson signing off. For more on JDS Sports, go to linestail.org/sports.